Hi, I'm Sharifah Fazlin, the organic expert from the Organic Room. So today is episode 3, and we will be talking about financial literacy and retirement. So stay tuned and let's meet my guest, Azura Ramlan.
Hi, I'm Azura Ramlan. I'm a financial advisor in a consultancy firm. I help people figure out ways to grow their money and take care of their future. Whether you're looking to protect your income, invest wisely, or just get a better handle on your finances, I'm here to have a chat to give you some clarity. So today we're going to talk about financial literacy and helping those in their 40s and above plan for their retirement and just be a little bit more comfortable in their future.
Hi, Azura. Thank you so much for accepting my invite today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Okay, we're going to talk about financial literacy, starting with the first very important question. So this question is about how early should one start building wealth?
Honestly, the earlier the better. Think of it like planting a seed. So the more time you give it, the stronger and bigger it can grow. So same like your savings, your finances, the more you put money aside, the longer time you have to put money aside, then it gives your money the opportunity for it to grow. So if you're starting out in your 20s and 30s, even a little bit will make all the difference when you hit your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. But honestly, as soon as you know, just start.
So that means even parents also who are able to afford can kickstart this at the very beginning of their children's lives.
Yes, definitely.
So with that in mind, how much do you think one needs to start off like comfortably to reach their targeted goal or whatever target that they have in the future?
So I think you're asking two questions. One is how much do you comfortably need to start, and what is the goal that they want to achieve, right?
Yes.
So to start comfortably, it really depends on where you are at in life. So that we'll answer in a bit. But to know how much you need to retire, you need to know what is the end goal that you're hoping to achieve. So example, if you are planning to retire with $1 million in 20 years, then you have to work backwards on how much you need to set aside throughout these 20 years. So granted that you have decent investment returns, maybe 2,500 a month is what you're looking at. But if you have a little bit more time, like 30 years, then that number could change to about 1,200. So it's all about the end goal and then working backwards.
So will you also like help them to calculate like projected inflation and rise in cost and all that?
Yes, correct. Because life is not that simple. So hospitalization costs, inflation, all these play a part in how much that end number should be versus what you want it to be.
Right.
Yeah, and we definitely have tools to help with that.
Okay, so knowing the end goal, right? Let's say you are more interested in growing wealth for your retirement rather than just growing wealth in general.
Yeah.
So how do you get to that retirement amount?
A good way to calculate how much you need to save and grow in retirement is by first figuring out how much you want or need in retirement each year. So say if you are looking at $50,000 for retirement a year, then you need to multiply that by the number of years that you are retired. And so if that is 25 years, then you're looking at about 1.2 million for throughout retirement. And that's not including the inflation cost. So that's just what you want from your retirement.
So you just add on to it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, for many people, I find that planning finances or talking about finances is really, really a taboo question, a topic. So I feel like there's so many people who are not aware of this, and I feel like it needs to be taught, like maybe during secondary school or something, when they're teenage years, when they know a bit of math and they know a bit of logic and they know a little bit of life. So I think that's the ideal part. So why does one, especially an adult, need to know about financial planning?
It's all about, like the word says, having a plan. Because life can throw you curveballs left, right, and center. And sometimes just knowing the path that you need to take when these milestones come at you, especially in adulthood, because a lot of them come at you hard and fast. Right? When you hit a certain milestone, it's suddenly my first job, and then you get engaged, and then you get married, and then you have your first home, and then you have your first kid, and then another kid, and then it's education. It's a lot of things piling on top of another, and having a plan as you work through these milestones can really help give you a booster, or at least alleviate some of the financial load that comes at you. So when you plan these things, it's like having your umbrella ready when the rain pours. You're just a little bit drier, you're just a little bit more comfortable as you're going through these milestones in life.
So it has to work concurrently, like ideally,
Yes.
like building your wealth at the same time building your family or your life.
Yes, correct. So when you are of a certain age, example when you're in your 30s going into 40s, especially if you're someone who has a family, you have to think about your children's education while thinking of your retirement. So there's a bit more to juggle.
Yeah, the transition, right?
Yes, so as opposed to someone who is single and has a little bit less responsibilities when it comes to the financial bits of it.
Okay, so next question, very simply put, very important and close to my heart. So for those who are in their 40s and above, I know of some who have no idea about financial wealth or how to grow or why is it important, then suddenly they get stuck. So if let's say they have their aha moment after their 40s, right, is it too late to plan for their retirement?
No, it's never too late. So when you are in your 40s and like you said, have this aha moment and you have to just, you want to start, the important thing is to start. So you have to start. You may need to be a little bit more disciplined and focused with your goals and what you want to achieve. And that's where having a financial consultant helps, because they keep you accountable to this goal that you want to achieve, and they help you create the path to achieve these goals in a manner that doesn't feel overwhelming. So when you talk to your financial advisor, you give them the goals that you want, because they are a little bit more knowledgeable and just have a bit more exposure to how to plan based on your needs. They can give you the roadmap that is the most suitable and palatable for you.
And also like teach you how to, not teach lah, maybe like, hey, stay in the lane, that kind of thing.
Like, for example, like, you know when you want to bake something, and then sometimes the steps just feel a little bit
Off.
tedious.
Ah, right.
And you go, I can skip this step, I don't want to measure this. You have someone going, no, you really need to do it. Missing a step might really throw you off.
How about for those who are younger, a little younger, maybe in their 20s or early 30s? So I know a lot who are still single, and there are some who just bought their BTO flats, or maybe just, oh, I have a baby, So what's the difference between a younger person who's single and a younger person who's married?
So again, it depends very much on where you are in life. If you have less responsibilities, like you don't have a home yet, or you don't have a family yet, you are able to take a little bit more risk with your investments. You have that flexibility to put your money in your emergency funds, to invest a little bit more aggressively. Whereas if you have a family, there's a little bit more that you have to juggle and take into consideration. Like I said, you have to consider your children's education, you have to consider your retirement, and something that people also forget sometimes is you also might have to consider your parents' retirement. So this is the part where we talk about the sandwich generation, where you will reach that age where you are taking care of yourself, your children, so your family, and your parents, if they hadn't done their own financial planning prior.
Right.
So all this is very different, even for someone in their early 30s or late 20s, as compared to someone of that same age who doesn't have a family unit to think about.
Right. I believe that sandwich generation has surpassed time only because I feel like these days parents are more affluent and they are more aware of their financial situation. And also I feel like, especially my generation, we feel like we do not wish to burden our children with anything. So all the more we feel the need to help them because the inflation is like crazy.
Yeah, that's right. And it's really good that we are taking these steps to, make sure that the next generation is just a little bit less burdened, considering how inflation and just the standard of living here in Singapore has risen.
When I was building my business throughout the years, I have learned that, after a certain time when you build your business, you need to save up and then use it for investments because they say, let your money make money. So as you age, like my age, okay, the thing is sidetrack a little bit. So we had a chat, like we had 3 meetings before today. And I realized unknowingly that I have money. I have savings without knowing, aside from the active saving that I have in my savings account. So then I also have savings which I didn't see. So this I started during my divorce at the beginning of it. So I decided, okay, since I'm on my own and then I have a baby, a 4-year-old child, so I don't know when I'm gonna go. I had this fear of death and leaving my child alone without any money. So what I did was I kind of like invested a little bit on my child and myself. So if I went first, I knew that my money and her money would save her for maybe a couple of years until she starts working or something. So the caregiver will not have that burden of financial burden of raising my child. So that was what I did and what I found out about myself. So coming back to the question, money make money. So how much truth is it in it?
So there's a lot of truth in that. It's really about letting your investments do the heavy lifting. So when you invest, you give your money a chance to grow on its own through the magic of compounding. So over time, this can really add up. So it's not just about working hard, but letting your money work hard for you.
So I've known you a long time, my whole life. So,
My whole life.
Yes, I know, right? So the thing is about her, surprise, she was from the medical sector. So she went all the way to Australia to study and work for 7 years and decided to come back, marry and have 3 kids. So from the medical line, what made you transition to do financial planning?
So it wasn't really about having been in the medical field. I think it was more on what happened during my marriage, where my husband fell sick. So if she knows about this, but a couple years ago my husband had stage 4 blood cancer, lymphoma. So it was one of the rarer kinds, and it took about a couple months for us to even realize, or for him to even be diagnosed with this cancer. So for someone at that time who was 32 to be diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, one, I think the doctors couldn't believe it, and then 2, it just basically rocked our world. And I think our biggest saving grace was the fact that we had our insurances and we already had our emergency funds, and we basically had all these things, all these plans in place that we didn't think we would need in our 30s, so at such a young age. And to think that just the year before, when we had our 3rd child, our insurance agent came up to us and said, hey, there's a cancer plan. Do you want it? It's on discount. And my husband at that time said, oh no, I don't think we need it. But me, having been in the medical field, I was like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Let's just take it. It's not a bad investment to
Yes.
have. And just 1 year later, we were already cashing out this cancer coverage. So to see like to witness firsthand how having this plan, having all this in place really helped save our life. You know, made what would have otherwise been so difficult quite manageable, quite cruisy. I felt that it then felt like a calling. It felt like something that I could advocate for, and
help other families.
Yes, something that like is so close to my heart, you know. So if I can help just the next family prepare for hopefully a day that would never come.
They thought would never come.
They think would never come. Like, you know, you just plan for the worst day of your family's life, not even yours, because it's your family going through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Such a small package, but with such heavyweight issues that she went through. So amazing. Congratulations for cruising through the hardest time of your life. Truly proud of you. So any last words for our audience there? Like any last advice that you want to give, or just 2 cents worth of opinion?
So my best advice, don't stress, but do start taking action today. Take a good look at where you are now, set some realistic goals, and then start taking action towards them. So work towards them as soon as you can. And while you are doing all this, you also have to remember your health. So your health today will definitely affect your health tomorrow. So you have to always take care of yourself, your mind, your body. So, and if you're unsure where to begin, that's when someone like me can help. We can look at your unique situations and help you build a plan that's sustainable for you for today and tomorrow.
Thank you for watching this episode. Hope you have learned something new. So if you have any questions, do drop me a DM or an email, and I will try to reply you as soon as I can. So up next will be episode number 4. So as you can see, I'm ready for fitness. So it's going to be how to maintain mobility and maintenance of your body in your 40s.